You may think about a child who their parents don't exhibit very healthy behaviors. And maybe their parents were abused growing up and had sort of a traumatic upbringing. And while they're not abusive to that child, they aren't super emotionally developed and they're not very nurturing of that child. And so that child feels sort of a little bit lost and a little bit uncared for. And so as a coping mechanism for that lack of connection with emotionally available caregivers, that child says, well, when I eat this children's cereal that's marketed to me on the television every single freaking day, I feel good. I eat my Lucky Charms and I get a little pleasant. And so right there, you see the biopsychosocial model starting to sow the seeds for potential chronic illness of diabetes. How? Well, let's say there's some genetics involved and this child has a certain disposition for a certain physical health factors. That's fine. But psycho part of the biopsychosocial model, we just said their parents were not as nurturing as they could have been. And so this child needed to develop a coping mechanism to feel a little bit of that warmth or just positive emotion and satisfaction. And the child developed that behavior in the form of addictive sugary food, which social part of the biopsychosocial model were in our culture intentionally advertised to that child to addict them to that sugary, unhealthy food. Bigger picture here, how all of these factors coalescing around how this child who becomes a teenager and an adult develops diabetes.